All right, with that, Eric, let's shift our focus now to the other war that's been happening between Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine's political landscape is making headlines for a series of changes that the country's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is making again. The Ukrainian president has now fired the deputy head of the presidential office, Irina Mudra.
And once again, the reason for this is a corruption probe which has now begun against the key aide. The announcement of Irina Mudra being sacked overlaps with Ukraine's anti-corruption investigators launching a major probe. The operation by the NAB targets an alleged criminal organization which also involves politicians and senior government officials. This follows a series of top-level shake-ups that Ukraine's president has carried out in the middle of an ongoing war with Russia. In January 2023, Zelensky went on a sacking spree amid allegations of corruption and embezzlement. The Ukrainian leader removed 15 officials, which included regional governors and deputy ministers.
And then in August of the same year, Zelensky had fired all heads of Ukraine's regional military draft and enlistment offices. This sweep was carried out after an inspection revealed widespread fraud and abuse of power. In November of 2025, an energy scandal hit Ukraine in which major corruption and bribery charges came to light. The investigation led to Volodymyr Zelensky sacking the then energy and justice ministers. But trouble for Ukraine's president does not end here. The defense minister Zelensky sacked last month is now demanding elections in the country, and he's been criticizing the president for his choice of leaders and aides.
Popular former defense minister Mykhailo Fedorov has urged Ukraine to hold elections. In a video posted to YouTube, Fedorov said that Ukraine must find a mechanism that will allow the country to restore a full democratic process even amidst a prolonged war.
This is complex. We need to guarantee the voting rights of our military, of millions of Ukrainians abroad, of people in frontline regions. We need to ensure the security of the electoral process, the independence of institutions, and trust in the outcome. But complexity does not mean impossibility. Ukraine has repeatedly done what the world considered impossible. We can find a solution here as well, because democracy is not a peacetime luxury. Democracy is part of what we are fighting for today.
But that is not all that he said. Fedorov also took a swipe at Zelensky, saying, and I quote him, "It is particularly dangerous when society develops the feeling that the main criterion for an appointment is not professionalism, results, or the ability to transform the country, but personal loyalty to the system." Now, the appointed defense minister in January, Fedorov, tried to reform a military that was hit by scandals over corruptions, equipment shortages, absenteeism, the treatment of conscripts, and an unpopular mobilization drive. But he was dismissed within 6 months in June, after which Ukraine's president appointed Yevgeny Khmara as the interim defense minister.
Just a few hours ago, Ukraine's parliament has confirmed the appointment of Khmara, despite month-long protests by Ukrainians to bring back the former defense minister.